income, if any, that you will or can earn through your participation in Vibe Rides and then in our plans. And any and all income projections should not be considered as guarantees or projections of your actual earnings or profits. Success with the company results only from active participation in successful marketing efforts, which do require your work, commitment, and diligence on your part. And that was one of the comments that I made yesterday. We showed you a possibility calculator with some pretty, I consider, amazing opportunity and scalable numbers. Do I think everybody will achieve those? I'd like to think so, but probably not. But I do believe, in my opinion, I do believe that we're going to find a couple of individuals that are going to be quite successful with the program that we have put together. So again, just a disclaimer again, so everybody knows, is that these are just what I consider theoretical calculations that we have, calculations as what it could be on the number of factors. But again, it all depends on you. It all depends on you and your ability and your dedication. So I'm going to move on now to our first phase as it relates to talking about safety. And on the safety standpoint, I'm going to bring back onto our call today Angela. And Angela, who's been on with us all week. If you remember, Angela is our Director of Product Development. So anything related to the app and the screens and some of our terms and conditions and rules have all been coming from Angela. So Angela, are you there and are you ready to talk about insurance?
I am ready. Okay, let me fix this. Hold on just a second. Hi, everyone. Hi, Scott. How you doing?
I'm good, Angela. Thanks for being on the call.
Oh, love to be here. Hi, everyone, and good morning and good afternoon for people that are in different regions who are a little ahead of us. So good afternoon to you and good morning, good afternoon, Vibe Rides Nation. How exciting. And yes, just like Scott said, number 5. And again, they're all accessible. So you can't miss a thing here. It's so accessible. Everything's recorded and all accessible, so you can get all the knowledge you possibly can to be ready to drive and ride. Okay, so safety, of course, number 1 priority. Yes, absolutely. And of course, right now with the corona, we did a safety presentation regarding that. And I hope everyone's safe and well and keeping their distance and doing their social distancing and washing their hands and being mindful. It's very, very important that we do that so we can control what's happening here and we can all get rocking really soon and get out of our homes, because I know many of us are kind of antsy in regards to that. So, but this is a different component of safety, which is also high priority. Okay. And this is within the app. So you have access to this within the app, and it's emergency calling. And so if you look at the bottom left of the screen there on the screenshot of the actual phone, there's a purple shield. And what that purple shield is it's the safety icon. And that safety icon will take you to a safety toolbox. And so the next screen, that's what will happen. That's what will pop up is the safety toolbox. And in that safety toolbox, as you can see, is for emergency and assistant purposes, okay? So there's emergency assistant, there's 24/7 incident line, and there's share my location. So everything has a different degree of emergency in a sense, right? So in this regards, we'll go to next slide. Thank you, Mark, please. Okay, so I've got some stuff in the way and I can't see these screens. Let me see, get this out of the way. Okay, here we go. All right, so when you click the emergency assistance tab, it will take you to the 911. So you have a 911 one click away for emergency reasons, okay? And on that 911 call, it will show your current location. The only difference is, now remember this, it will not transmit your location. That is just there so that when you are on the phone with emergency operators and personnel or the police, you actually can tell them exactly where you are so they can locate you. That's what that's for. So it's not being transmitted to them automatically. It's for you to take a look at. So that's why when there's 2 clicks, so emergency assistant, you click on that, and then it'll take you to 911. The reason why is it's got to propagate your location, and that's really, really important, so you can share that, okay? The next screen it'll show you, again, the 24/7 incident line and the emergency assistant. So 24/7 incident line is to reach us. And now it's called a 24/7 incident line for a reason. It's for incidences. So remember, we are not for emergency purposes, okay? We'll go through that again, but this is just to show you what the screens will look like. And then the next screen will show you share my location. Again, it'll show you exactly where you're located. Next screen, please. Okay, so now let's get into the actual headings and what they mean and what you'll be able to see and what safety means, really means, okay? So we wanted to show you that we do have emergency assistance available in regards to accessibility, having access to the 911, having access to 24/7 incident support line, which is here, and I'll explain, and all those features and the emergency toolbox of that. It's just to show you that we do have it available. Now remember, starting on, I believe, yes, it's Monday, we are going to do a back of the app type training. So we'll go into the app process in detail on the back end. So we'll go through that again. So don't worry, we'll give you a chance to really be able to understand how the app works in itself. But this is based on what safety means and how important it is, okay? So 24 incident support line is for our support team, our amazing support team. And Frederick Grimm, our director of our amazement team, has done a phenomenal job in regards to that. They can answer all kinds of questions, but this is not the emergency line. If you ever have an emergency, you don't call the incident support line. You only call them after an incident has occurred, because we need to be informed as well. So, which means tickets, incidences, and emergency situation. If you experience an emergency or receive a ticket, take the appropriate steps to protect yourself and to get to a safe place as needed. So that's the most important thing. Be safe, get yourself into a safe place, and then you can give us a call. All you have to do is tap call, which we'll go through a training again on Monday in detail, to get connected to our incident support team. And they're available 24/7, which is phenomenal. That's great. But again, it's for incidences. So if you can't log in, that's not really a serious incident type scenario. You can get that in the FAQs. So if it has anything to do with downloading your app or things like that, that can be done, that you can find in the FAQs. The incident report is to report to us that you've had an incident. You've been pulled over, you had a ticket, you're having a challenge, you were in an accident, and you need to let us know what's going on. So those type of incidences, and then they'll lead you through to the processes you need to go through. And that's what that line is specifically for. But we also want you to know we're accessible. So please understand, not for emergency purposes, you call 911, but we are here for you, okay? And it's available. So again, not emergency transportation. Next slide, please. Okay, driver rating. Drivers and passengers rate each other after every ride. So you can rate the rider and the rider can rate you. If 3 stars or below, you will not get matched again. So either way, vice versa. If you as a driver have given a rider 3 stars or below, you will not be matched again. And the rider can do the exact same thing. And for us, that's a safety component, because if you did have an incident with this specific rider, or the rider had an incident with a specific driver, that keeps us from putting them back together again, because we don't want to engage in putting them in that position again. And so we don't match them up again. Okay, so that's what that's for. Next slide, please. Okay, phone safety. This is part of safety, okay? So texting and driving, no good. We don't do that. That's definitely a safety component that we have to be mindful for. But there's equipment out there that you can use to keep you from having to handle your phone while texting and driving, which is not acceptable, right? So to keep
everyone safe, to keep you safe, to keep the rider safe, and to keep anyone around you safe because you're being mindful of the road ahead, there's equipment available. Use a phone mount. You could put it on your windshield right in front of you. Make sure it's not, distracting your view in any manner. You can put it on the left because some vehicles have a little beverage cup holder, something on the left. You can put it there. You can put it in your, middle console in your beverage area or above on your dashboard. There's all kinds of them everywhere. You can buy them at Best Buy. You can go online, and you can get them for like $10. They're not very expensive, and it's a great investment of $10 to make sure everyone's safe and you're safe as well. I think is very important. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, pickups and drop-offs, recalls and tips. Okay, curbside pickup and drop-off. Please, when you're dropping off or picking up any passengers, pick them up on the curbside of the street. Don't pick them up. Don't have them come in. Do your best to avoid that. I understand there's some situations that may occur that's really difficult to do, but whenever you're about to pick up or drop off, always be mindful that you want to drop them off in a very safe area. If you have to pull up a little further, then pull up a little further to keep them safe, right? So that they don't have to exit or enter from the roadside or where there's a lot of high traffic coming through. We want to keep everyone safe as well as yourself because you're about to get out of the car to help them out, maybe with luggage and so forth. So pick them up or drop them off on the curbside of the street. That way, everyone's very safe, okay? So that's really important. And also, make sure before you even drive away, make sure they have all of their luggage, all of their everything that they brought with them, their personal items, and make sure they have all that and everyone's safe before you pull away. Because you don't want to be, you don't want them halfway out of the car and then you decide, oh, you got to go do another ride and you're in a hurry. Be very, very mindful of that, okay? You're in the service industry, and that's service all the way to the end until the minute you click to another ride or you finish that ride, you are servicing them, okay? And that's how it works. That's the service industry, okay? All right, vehicle recalls, really important. Sometimes, cars get recalled. I mean, I've gotten emails before that, maybe a seat belt has to be changed on a certain type of vehicle that you have, or there's a component that needs to be changed. And recalls, you'll have to go in and get that fixed before you can drive again. Or maybe, once you do get it done as soon as possible. But when you do, remember to let us know that your car was recalled and that you had to go in to get that fixed. And so that we're aware that you had to get that done. And if you're not getting the emails and you're hearing some people saying, oh, there are some recalls, you can always go to a site called NHTSA. That's the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration database. And there you can find out and confirm if your specific vehicle was called in for a recall. And recalls are important. Those are mainly safety based, and you want to make sure your vehicle's safe at all times. Okay? Tips, cash, or in the app. Yes, you are allowed to get tips from passengers. Okay? Because some people want to just tip you in cash rather than doing it in the app. But we don't solicit tips in cash. So you don't turn around and tell your rider, hey, can you give me some cash? That definitely is not part of our, we don't suggest that. That's soliciting. So we don't want to do that to our riders. That kind of takes them aback a little bit. Some of them do want to tip you in cash, so we do allow it. And all your tips are 100% yours. Others would like to tip you within the app, which is, again,
of course, that's great, right? When you're getting tips. And again, those are 100% yours. So you don't have to get a cash tip in order to get your tips. You will get all your tips, okay? You've earned them. So if a rider wants to tip you, excellent. That's a good thing, right? But if you have an incident, and this is part of the safety, say there's been damage to your vehicle, maybe the interior, for some reason something happened, do not ask the rider to pay cash for fixing the damage. This is why we have processes, and this is why we have an incident support team. We will take care of that on your behalf. We will make sure we contact the rider, and we will charge them accordingly. So if there was damage, don't ask them to pay for it right then and there. We will take care of it. Just follow through on the incident reports. Give us a call. Make sure we're aware, and we're here to help you out. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, driver requirements. Use only your driver profile. Okay, so this is who they expect. The picture that they see on your profile is who they're looking for. So they're going to take a look at this picture, and then they're going to take a look at you, and they want to make sure, is this the right person? Who is this? Who's picking me up? It doesn't look like this person. And, you know, it's a safety precaution for the rider. I would do the same thing. I'd want to know that this person is picking me up. And if the picture doesn't look like you, it makes you a little weary, right? And we don't want to create any type of discomfort or an untrust with the riders. So if you dye your hair, if you shave your head bald, if you decide to grow a mustache, if you change your appearance in any manner whatsoever, please let us know. You know that part of the process is once you've completed your profile and everything's done, it's for safety reasons and security reasons, your profile goes into a sort of like a lockdown, okay? But it can be changed. So what you need to do is you need to send us an updated profile pic, or let us know that you want to update your profile pic because you changed the color of your hair, or you've got your hair, you're bald. No problem. We just want to make sure that your picture profile matches and what the rider sees. Okay. Display your Vibe Rides decal. Yes, that's one of the safety reasons as well. Riders want to know who's coming to pick them up. Vibe Rides is coming. How do I identify that Vibe Rides is on his way on their way to pick me up? So you need to display your Vibe Rides decal. Specifically if you're going to areas where they need to see proof that you're a Vibe Rides driver. So you're going to have, what you're going to get in your welcome kit is 2 decals, one that goes in the front of your windshield and one on the back. So that way you're identifiable. I don't even know if that's a word. From the rear, from the back, and from the front when you're pulling up. And that's for areas where there's security and they want us to make sure you're a rideshare driver picking up a passenger. Okay. Don't bring family and friends. This isn't a hangout. We're not hanging out here. We're trying to do business, right? We're not hanging out with our friends. And then on top of that, a rider expects to be picked up by a driver, not a driver and 3 other people hanging out. So don't bring your friends and family while on the platform. You're more than welcome to do that when you're not on the Vibe Rides platform, but please don't bring friends and hang out while you're doing your rides. Okay. And that's safety. That's a safety component because you want to make sure that your rider feels comfortable and safe. Okay. And of course, follow and obey all traffic laws. Okay. This is in all manners. I mean, no rolling stops, follow the speed limit, use your signal when turning or changing lanes, yield to oncoming traffic, be mindful of other motorists around you, okay? We've heard of accidents before where a driver opens a door and there's a biker or someone riding a bike coming through. Just make sure you're very aware of your surroundings and the people around you. And signals. I know sometimes we're in a hurry and we're, too lazy to signal. Signals are really important. Signals are how you communicate with people around you. So someone's behind you and they see your signal, they know you're about to go right and they know you're about to go left. That's the reason why those lights are back there. They know when you're about to stop as well, right? That's what the brake lights are for. So in order for you to talk to your community and let them know what you're doing, use your turn signals. Right, left, let them know I'm about to turn right, I'm about to turn left. Just be respectful, be kind, and be professional. Your vibe rides, baby. Okay, so represent. Next slide, please. Oh, look, I'm already done. Oh my gosh, that was quick. We'll do more of that, of course, during all of our other trainings. We've got so much information for you, and we are so excited to share them all with you. But we'll do more of that. But we're already on the insurance component where, a lot of you have a lot of questions for that. And I'm going to pass it on to Scott because he's going to move us along from there. And thank you so much, everyone.
Great. Thank you very much, Angela. There's a great overview. And again, everybody, driver safety is very important to us here at Vibe Ride. So Angela, nice job. So the insurance piece of this, as we're all aware, unfortunately, there's going to probably be some insurance issues that are going to arise at some point in time. To handle that, we're going to bring on the call right now our Director of Customer Amazement, Mr. Frederick Brim. And as Fred was on earlier this week, or I think it was last week, to go over some items for you. But Fred's also the person that's really put together the detail from a support standpoint that you can read on viberides.com. So again, I want to emphasize viberides.com. On the very top, there's a support button. If you click on that button, there's a wealth of information out there that Fred has put together with his team. So Fred, I'm going to turn it over to you now for the insurance review.
Thank you, Scott. It looks like we have on the same shirt today. So I appreciate that. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the insurance review portion. Obviously, insurance is very important in the rideshare space, both from an operating standpoint and from a safety standpoint. And so as we go through this, I'll give you some guidance, overview about what the insurance that we have as a company to operate in the rideshare space and the insurance that you will need in order to be considered as a driver. Next slide. So obviously there is an insurance requirement. In short, we do have, like I said, insurance to operate as a rideshare company. But driver partners and delivery partners are required to maintain a minimum amount of comprehensive and liability insurance, the state minimums of comprehensive and liability insurance. But there is an additional insurance. So in the rideshare space, a lot of times, it is very important that you notify your insurer that you are participating in a rideshare platform. In the event that there is an accident or that you are involved in an accident and the insurance company becomes aware that you were engaged in rideshare activities, you may not be covered. You may not be eligible for coverage. And so if you don't want to notify your insurance company that you're participating in a rideshare program, then there is some commercial coverage that you may obtain. I won't go into detail about those types of coverages or the companies. That's completely at your own leisure, and you would have to do that research. Next slide. So this is the insurance solution article that's on the platform. It goes in depth into what the insurance requirements are. And so I would reference you to this, and this will be in the chat, but it's also on our solutions page. Next slide. Accidents and incidents, we do anticipate, you can't say that, this is a perfect world. Accidents will happen. That's why they're called accidents. They're not planned. And with that being the case, when they happen, there are certain processes that need to occur. then of course you would want to notify the authorities. So you would call your local 911 line, and they would come out and to the scene. And at that point, you want to really start you want to remember everything that happens, because in the incident report you will be asked for times, dates, places, and what led up to the accident. So this page will walk you through that. Next slide. So if you're involved in an accident, what should you do? First, the first step is to assess. And so you want to assess the situation, assess yourself, assess the rider, make sure everybody's okay, that you're safe. Obviously, you don't want to do a lot of moving around unnecessarily if you don't have to, but you want to assess the situation. Once you've assessed the situation, you are going to want to notify the police and paramedics. And obviously, it's written here, if necessary, it is required. Okay. After they've arrived and you've gone through that process, the next phase would be to contact or email us. And so we, in the app, Angela reviewed earlier that you can call us, call the incident support line. Or when you call the incident support line, a case will be opened. You will receive an incident number. In the event that you don't want to call, you can email. Its support is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Next slide. So the claims process. There is most definitely a claims process, and all the parties involved in the accident are party to the claim. And so the rider, the driver, and so anyone involved in the accident should expect a call from one of our claims representatives, our claims specialists, within 14 days. We ask that all supporting documentation be submitted, in the ticket number, the incident report, within 3 business days. That will allow us the opportunity to review and gather the facts, get the incident report from the local authorities as we need, and process the claim. But this is a very interactive process. We will be reaching out to the parties involved. And when we call, the drivers should be prepared for the call by having already submitted the declarations page of their insurance policy. That's a document that our insurance company requires to process the claim, and so that it's a document that we will require of you. Okay, next slide. So, the claims process, we try to make it as low effort and simple as possible. We have one incident report form. That incident report form is the claim form in essence, and every field on that form is required. If you're a driver, you would complete the driver information or the driver section and enter the rider's name that you see on the app. When you submit that, we will complete the rider information. So, but it is important that you complete every field, be as specific as possible. In the solutions database, there are specific steps and guidelines as to how you will, what you will need to do to submit the claim, to complete the claim form. And if you have any questions during this time period, feel free to call or email us with those questions. Okay, next slide. So this is the claim form. There are 3 types of claims that can be filed. An auto insurance claim, that's obviously if you're involved in an accident. A cleaning claim, obviously. So the cleaning claim form is if you incur cleaning fees due to a rider messing your vehicle. And a damage claim would be if a rider damaged your vehicle. Maybe they got out of the door, there was an unfortunate experience for them, they're angry, they get out, they kick your door, you have a dent in your door, that would be damage, you would submit this claim. But it's one form, you would select the appropriate claim, and as I was saying earlier, for a driver, you would input your information, what markets you're driving in, or you drive in, the date of the incident, the time of the incident, and the best contact number for you.
I
If
think
you
they're
are
gonna get
involved
into
in
food
an
delivery.
accident
They keep
with another
hinting.
vehicle or just an accident during the course of engaging in your participation with
I'm
Bike
gonna
rides,
go ask
then
what's his
you would
name?
have to complete this
And everybody
section of
caught
the claim
it.
form
Did
as
he
well.
say delivery?
And it's
Question
going
mark.
to
Did he
ask
say
for
for
your
delivery?
information, your
And
vehicle
yesterday,
information,
and
where the accident happened, the passenger's
one of
name,
the
phone
calls too
number.
is like the main president.
Like I
He was
said,
like,
we will complete
yeah,
the
he said you're
passenger
shutting it down. It's like people
information
asking me,
on
am I gonna
this.
shut it down because of the lift?
And then we'll also ask for the vehicle that was involved. A lot of this information is most definitely obtained from the police report, but that is, in general, what we would need. Okay. Of course, like I said, you want to be as descriptive as possible in your
The
when you submit
president
the
got on
claim.
the like
Details are very
the
important.
question and answer yesterday,
Incomplete
and he was getting a lot
forms
of
will not be
like
accepted. They
on the
will be
street type of
sent
deals.
back
Like,
to
oh, so
you,
you're shutting it
and
down
that will
because
only
the coronavirus and
prolong
he
the
lives in
claims
Uber, it's
process.
going
And
to
so we
shit,
obviously want to
basically.
do it as quickly and
He said, shutting
expeditiously
it
as
down.
possible.
What do you mean? That's
With this little
not in my book.
back
That's not
and
in my
forth.
language. And if
And so
anything, it's just the
submitting everything up
opportunity to
front
build
would
it and da 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 da
ease the
da.
process and help us get
And I
the claim
say,
process as fast as
who's gonna
possible.
drive so and so to
So that wraps
the
up the
hospital?
insurance
Who's gonna
section.
drive so
Thank you,
to
and
to
I'll
the
turn it back
airport?
over
Who's
to
gonna
Scott.
drive so and so to get
Great,
this?
thanks, Fred.
This
Appreciate
delivery,
it.
whatever.
Appreciate
You
all your
know,
effort in getting
we
all that
still need
detail
those people.
together
Why shut it
and
down?
getting it out there so all
So that was the
of
first
our
clue. I was like, when
drivers
the
have
hell gonna get
access to
into
that
delivery?
information.
Because he was.
So again, lots of information
And
that
then
we're
this
going
one, they're
through.
talking about the
And
insurance
again,
aspect.
emphasizing it's
You
all
know,
out
insurance
there.
is
This is
covered
all
for
being
this and this
recorded.
and
So
this
if you've
and
got questions
deliveries
that
and
come up, if
And
you've
he
got
said, did he say
another friend
deliveries? So why would we
who's a
be
Vibe
even
driver who's
mentioning
got
that?
questions,
If we're
have them
getting
just
that kind of.
access the information we have there. Guarantee
Guarantee
when we're done with
Yeah.
our 8 days, we'll cover just about every section you can possibly want and answer most of your
I'm gonna tell
questions.
my friends that you
So
better sign up now
tomorrow
because
we're
she was like,
talking about
if you do
rider
food
safety.
delivery, let me know. But I'm gonna
And
tell
for
her
some of
like,
you, you're
if
to
you go
say to
ahead
me,
and
geez,
sign up,
Scott,
so you'll be one of
rider
the
safety
first or
tomorrow.
whatever.
We're a driver. Why would I want to get on the call and listen to rider safety if I'm a driver?
Because otro
I'd
venezolano,
encourage you to get on the call tomorrow
Ahorita
for
pintando.
one simple reason is we have a safety feature that's very unique. Very unique, and we're going to be announcing that tomorrow. And with the safety feature, it does apply for the driver as well as the rider. But we've decided to wait and announce that tomorrow in the rider safety. But you should be on there because this is a two-way safety feature. We think it's pretty cool. We think it's going to differentiate us from the rest of the industry. So again, we're doing rider safety on Friday. As I said at the beginning, today is on Monday. We're going over what I call the On the Road app. That's when you get that ping on your phone, you accept it, and then it goes all the way through the end of the ride. Angela's going to be walking through the app with you on Friday, just like she did the previous Friday on the front end for signing on. So again, tomorrow's safety, really cool feature coming up. And then on Monday, we're going to go over that app, the On the Road app. Just a couple other things I want to go through. Right now with everything that's going on with the coronavirus out there, transportation industry is still considered essential services. So as we've looked around the different states, we see that we're still in the category of essential services. We're monitoring every day in the various states that we're in to see what's going on. But right now, we're still considered essential services. I think that's just important for everybody to know. So that